The lake air was crisp and clean, the kind that fills your lungs and makes you feel like everything heavy is finally lifting. After 20 years of high-stress service and a lifetime of noise, this quiet corner of the world felt like peace. Cabin, perched just off a gravel lane with a perfect view of the lake, was everything I'd worked for. I wasn't here to bother anyone. I just wanted to unpack, sit on the porch, and enjoy the silence. But as I pulled boxes from the back of my truck, I heard footsteps, quick, sharp, entitled, and then her voice. "Can't park here." She stood with her arms crossed, wearing oversized sunglasses and holding a clipboard like it was a weapon. Her voice had no warmth, just command. I looked around, confused. "This is my driveway," I replied evenly. She didn't even blink. "This is a private HOA community. We didn't approve your move-in. Residents have to be screened." I told her I bought the property legally 2 weeks ago, showed her the deed from my glove box, and pointed to the cabin where I was clearly moving in. But none of that mattered to her. Her eyes weren't looking at documents, they were scanning me, judging me. Every word out of her mouth was laced with that sour tone that people use when they think they're above you. And then came the lines. "I knew we're coming. We have to protect the character of our neighborhood. You people always try to bend the rules." I froze. You people. I'd heard it before in parking lots, in airports, sometimes even in restaurants. It was never about rules. It was about control, about fear. I didn't react. I didn't raise my voice. But inside, I felt that old fire simmering. She paced around my truck like a predator, then pulled out her phone. "I'm calling the police," she said loudly, as if she were the hero of some made-up emergency. "Suspicious man? Might be armed." She had no idea how right she was. I was armed, licensed, trained, and retired federal law enforcement, and I most certainly belonged here. But I stayed silent. She thought she was in control. She thought she was about to win. But she didn't realize that this wasn't the start of her story. It was the beginning of mine. The police cruisers rolled. In fast lights flashing, tires crunching the gravel, I stayed still, hands where they could see them, heart steady. Karen, on the other hand, looked like she was preparing for a victory parade. She practically ran to the officers, pointing at me like she'd caught a criminal red-handed. "That's him?" she exclaimed. "He's trespassing and being aggressive. Won't leave." Her voice was loud, theatrical. The older officer glanced at me, calm but cautious. "Sir, can I see some ID?" I didn't say a word, just reached into my jacket and handed him both my license and my federal badge. The silence was instant. His eyebrows shot up. "With the U.S. Marshals?" I nodded. "Recently retired. Bought this property legally. This woman has been harassing me since I arrived." The shift in energy was immediate. The second officer looked at Karen like he was seeing her for the first time. "Ma'am," he said slowly, "were you aware of who you were calling the police on?" Karen's mouth opened, then closed. She blinked hard, her face losing all color. I thought," she stammered, suddenly much quieter. I pointed to my phone, still recording. "I have everything." Her comments, the false report, the attempt to intimidate me off my property. The officers didn't even try to hide their frustration. The older one turned to her. "It's filing a false emergency call is a crime, ma'am, especially when it involves false claims of a weapon." Karen tried to backpedal, mumbling something about neighborhood safety, but it was too late. The damage was done. It took statements. She was issued a formal warning, and I was told how to escalate it if I wanted, but I didn't need to. Sundown, everyone in the neighborhood knew what had happened. Apologies came. Karen vanished from the HOA board within days. And me? I grilled salmon on my deck, finally at peace. If this twist left you speechless, imagine what's next hit. Like, drop a comment and share the drama. Don't miss a beat with QZ's stories. Subscribe now and stay hooked on every showdown.